In the following comparative study, I will explore the similarities between American director Brad Anderson's The Machinist and British director Alex Garland's Annihilation, in an effort to show the universality of self-destruction among people. I will display how the human reaction to past mistakes remains uniform over the barriers of nationality and genre. Both films encompass the idea that the demons in our past cause us to self-destruct until they are addressed. However, the films use completely separate styles and genres to get this point across. The Machinist is a dramatic thriller set in a low-income town somewhere in California, and Annihilation is a sci-fi horror film primarily set in Area X, created by the alien satellite that has landed on Earth. In Annihilation, the story follows a Johns Hopkins biology professor and former military specialist, Lena, played by Natalie Portman. In the opening of the film, it is shown that Lena has been living without her husband, Kane, played by Oscar Isaac, for the last year. It is revealed that Kane too served in the military, and that it was the reason for his apparent death. When a disheveled-looking Kane shows up at home and begins to deteriorate from the inside out, Lena ends up finding herself at the location responsible for her husband's condition, a research base called Southern Reach, on the edge of the Shimmer. The area inside the Shimmer, or Area X, is responsible for the death of everyone who had entered, with the exception of Kane. Upon arrival, she is questioned about the nature of her husband's condition, which she knows nothing about. Lena's husband had entered the area within the Shimmer and had been the only one to return. As a biologist, Lena claims that if she enters the Shimmer with the next team and gathers information on the phenomenon, she can save her husband. So she meets the other 4 women scheduled to go. Before leaving, Lena is shown standing over her resting husband, observing him before she departs. She says, "I know why you went in." It is later revealed that Lena had been having an affair with a colleague, and Kane had known about it. In The Machinist, the focus of the story is Trevor Resnick, a machine operator who has been living in a trance. He has dropped down to 120 pounds and claims to have not slept in a year. Throughout the film, Trevor tussles with a character named Ivan, who seemingly only Trevor can see. Trevor also develops relationships with Maria, the waitress from the airport, and her son Nicholas. Trevor finds sticky notes all over his apartment left by an unknown source, and begins to believe that everyone is conspiring against him. Trevor is responsible for a character named Miller losing half of his arm to the machinery because of the distracting matter of Ivan's presence in the mill. At the climax of the film, it is revealed that Trevor killed Nicholas in a hit-and-run accident a year ago, and the guilt caused by the accident caused Trevor to, as well, cascade into self-destruction. The seriousness of the event caused Trevor to hallucinate for a year and create a separate reality in which he didn't kill Nicholas. Progression of the plots of these 2 movies parallel each other quite well, and both continuously make nods to the self-destructive theme that they share, despite the difference in genre and origin. The main characters continue to traverse their respective purgatories. In The Machinist, it is revealed that the Ivan character, who had been taunting Trevor, was created entirely by Trevor's own subconscious. Ivan exists as a kind of inverted moral compass, embodying everything Trevor had done wrong. In his analysis of The Machinist, author Mar Gorshin writes, "Ivan is Trevor's double, in that he is a hallucinated projection of everything he wishes he could forget about himself. Trevor is also a heavy smoker, a cancerous and destructive habit. When Trevor hit young Nicholas, it was because he had been distracted by his cigarette lighter, foreshadowing the self-destructive nature of his actions, both present and future." At the climax of the film, Trevor sees Ivan taking Nicholas into Trevor's own apartment. Trevor confronts Ivan in the bathroom in an attempt to save Nicholas and finds him shaving. Ivan claims that he, quote, loves the little notes that Trevor leaves for himself. And when Trevor asks him where Nicholas is, he states, "You know he's dead." Trevor and Ivan proceed to fight, and Trevor ends up on top, killing Ivan. Trevor then attempts to throw the evidence into the ocean, revealing the rest of the shot from the beginning of the film. The carpet unravels itself and reveals itself to be empty, and none other than Ivan confronts Trevor from behind. The film cuts back to Trevor looking at the, quote, "Who are you" note in his bathroom, and he has his revelation.
I know who you are. I know who you are.
In Annihilation, the idea of self-destruction extends itself to all of the immediate characters in the film, not just the main protagonist. Kane willingly chose to enter an unknown area with a 0% survival rate because of his knowledge of Lena's disloyalty. Anya is a former drug addict. Rosie has serious anxiety and depression and self-harms.
What is it?
Shepard is suicidal after the loss of her daughter
I
to
don't know.
leukemia, and Ventress has terminal cancer. While all of these characters enter the Shimmer having already experienced their self-destruction, the Shimmer itself exists to be the self-destructive atonement for Lena's mistakes, her purgatory. It is revealed that the Shimmer has no goal or main purpose. After expecting her own blood, Lena finds that the Shimmer takes living DNA and adds a new component to it, completely altering the genetic buildup of everything inside. It works much like cancer in that it causes unsolicited and unrestricted growth and combination. The nature of the Shimmer is, again, a nod to self-destruction. Cancer operates by causing the body's own cells to grow in a malignant manner into tumors, and this is directly mirrored in the film. In an article describing Annihilation, journalist Angelica Jade Bastian stated, "Ventress's chilly determination is a byproduct of her looming inevitable death due to cancer. Garland is never as blunt anywhere else in the movie as he is here, yet even before this exchange, the film reveals itself to be a trenchant consideration of the interlocking dynamics of depression and self-destruction." End quote. This shows that the issues encountered in the film, such as cancer, are highlighting the overarching theme, and that the theme of the film is the human self-destructive nature. Another interesting similarity between the two that shows the uniformity of human reaction is found between the endings of the films. Both endings show the afflicted protagonist exiting purgatory but ending up someplace that isn't exactly forgiving, essentially completing their own self-destruction. Trevor ends up fully confessing to the hit and run he committed a year ago, and is shown being thrown into a solitary confinement cell. In his article Looking Back at the Machinist, Ryan Lambie states, "There's a suggestion of Dante's Divine Comedy in Resnick's purgatory-like existence." Lambie goes on to state, "Although what we learn about him in the end of the film is disturbing, we can all take comfort that, ultimately, he chooses the path to redemption." Yes, while Trevor has made the right choice and is finally able to rest at the closing of the film, he will most likely spend life in jail for his crimes, for he is unable to escape from his past mistakes. Alternatively, upon Lena destroying the source of the Shimmer at the lighthouse, in Annihilation, and returning to the Southern Reach, it is shown that this is where and when she was questioned about her experience, and is the focal point from where Lena has been telling the story to the scientists at the outpost. She is shown to Kane, who is woken up, but is just a reflection of his former self created by the Shimmer. Lena has lost all sense of self after her confrontation with the reflection of herself at the lighthouse, and audiences are left to wonder if Kane and Lena are even themselves at all anymore. In a review of Annihilation by Slash Film, author Chris Evangelista writes that when Lena returned to Southern Reach and was asked by Kane if she was Lena or not, she gave zero reply. Evangelista goes on to state, quote, "Any trace of the real Lena and Kane, or at least the Lena and Kane from before the Shimmer, is dead and gone," end quote. Both characters, Trevor and Lena, have atoned for their mistakes, but have been hollowed out and left shells of their former selves, given the seriousness of their situations. While Trevor did the right thing and can finally sleep, he again will most likely remain in jail for the remainder of his life. While Lena did successfully destroy the Shimmer, she returns to the base mutated by it, and scarred by her encounter with basically herself. Despite the difference in country of origin, genre, and style, these two movies offer the same perspective on the impossibility of escaping your past mistakes. Both films explore the repercussions of past mistakes and portray the protagonists as experiencing their respective purgatories as a result of their wrongs. Despite the massive difference in the mistakes made, the surrounding conditions, and setting, both characters manage to find their way to self-deprecation, showing the uniformity of self-destructive nature among all people.